Hello everyone, welcome to Geotech. So in this video we're going to be looking at the IGCSE ICT Paper 1. We'll be looking at chapter 1, which is types and components of computer system. In this chapter we'll be looking at hardware, software, looking at the internal and the external, the operating system, the backup, types of computers, emerging technologies, as much as possible. This is going to be more like a summary, so you can just know what you need to do, especially when questions have been asked on chapter 1. Okay, so computer systems are now commonplace in every part of our daily lives. Part of in every field, in every sector, there is a computer that you need to work with. Okay, and this chapter talks about the computer system, right? And we talked about basic components like our internal and external on it. Let's look at hardware. When we talk about hardware, in the simple terms, they are the physical components that make up a typical computer system. That is what hardware is. Physical components that makes up a typical computer system. Let's give an example. We have the keyboard, we have the mouse, we have the camera, we have the monitor, we have the pointer, we have the plotter. Notice that in the textbook, it has been separated as the input and it has been separated as the output. In the course of this video, we're going to be looking at the input and also going to be looking at the output. Now, the hardware falls under two categories. We have the internal and then the external. Okay. Now, let's look at those internal hardwares, right? Internal hardwares are those components that are found inside the system unit. Remember, the system unit is like a casing, right? That houses all components of the computer system. Okay, so now let's look at those internal components. We have motherboard, we have the central processing unit, we have, which is a CPU, right, or what you call your processor. We have the random access memory. Okay, we also have the read-only memory, which is your ROM. We have your graphics card, we have your sound card, you have your network interface card, and then you have your internal storage devices. Your internal storage devices, talking about, it could be that you have a hard disk drive, talking about your HDD, or it could be that you have the solid state drive. So these are those components that are found inside. In more in-depth, you could actually look at all this, talking about the motherboard. Now, a motherboard is a printed circuit that is found on all computers, right? It allows processor and other computer hardware to function and communicate with each other. In the case of the random access memory, we see it as an internal chip where data is temporarily stored when running applications. Okay. Then we have the read-only memory. The read-only memory talks about which is used to store information that needs to be permanent. That's the read-only memory. But in the random access memory, which is the internal chip where data is temporarily stored when running applications. So for the RAM, which is the random access memory, they are temporarily stored, and for the ROM, they are, they store information that is permanent, that needs to be what? Permanent. The CPU, on the other hand, is a processor, right? Which you know it as a processor, is more or less an electronic circuit board that can execute instructions, and of course, they can execute instructions from a computer program. Now we have those main components. We have the ALU and we have the CU, right? So the ALU talks about the arithmetic and logic unit, where it performs a kind of hardware arithmetic and logical, basic arithmetic and comparison. And then you have your control unit, which takes instructions and then decodes and executes that instruction. Okay, now these are all the internal. Do we have the network interface card? It basically allows you to, it connects your devices to a network, right? It could be wired, it could also be what? Wireless, right? So that component, when you have it in your system, it allows the system to be able to see a network. Okay. The graphics card, on the other hand, allows computers to be able to send what we call graphical information to a video display, such as a monitor, or television, or your projector. Sound card. A sound card, on the other hand, is an integrated circuit, okay, that provides a computer with the ability to um, produce sounds. Okay, so when you have the sound card in your computer system, it enables you to be able to produce sounds, right? Then your internal hard disk drive and your solid state drives, on the other hand, are no, it will be covered in more in depth, but they allow you to be able to store your informations. Okay, they're the backbone. They store your informations on the computer. Okay, the new one which is solid state is what we call a flash memory. Why your hard disk drive uses the magnetic. Okay, then let's look at. You can see them in pictures right here. This is the motherboard. This is the ROM. This is the RAM. This is the graphics card. This is the SSD, sound card, the HDD. Okay, so this is what stores it, right? This is the CD here that stores the information, and this is the flash memory. Okay, so it's important to be able to see a visual, to help you to remember which of them is which. Okay. All right, so we're going to be looking at software. Okay, we'll look at software. Now, when we look at software, there are programs that can control the computer system and process the data. That's what they are, right? In fact, it's a general term used for programs, right? That can control the computer system and then they can process the data. Okay, so we have two types of these softwares. Seeing that they are programs that can control the system and then process the data, we have two types. We have the application software that allows the user to solve a given task, right? More or less, it provides a service that allows the user to solve a given task. And then we have what we know already, the system software. Okay, so let's look at those examples for the application software. Word processing, spreadsheet. Word processing over your MS Word, Google Docs, right? Spreadsheet, Excel, sheets, there are a lot of them, right? We have the Quarto Pro, we have the iWork numbers, right? For database, we have your Access, you have your MySQL, you have your Oracle, a lot of them. Okay, video editing, it's a lot of video editing like Adobe Pro. Okay, you have your graphic editing like your CorelDRAW, Paint.net, Photoshops, etc., etc. But for system softwares, they are software designed to provide a platform on which all other softwares can run. Note the difference. Why the application software, right, is that program that can provide the service for user to perform a given task. The system software on the other hand, is that software that is designed to provide that platform on which all other softwares can run. That is the system software. That is the easiest way to put it. Example, we have the compiler, we have the linkers, the device drivers, we have the operating system, and we have the utilities. So we have all of them here, examples of what each of them can do as much as possible. Okay, so and also the compilers and the linkers. So for linkers, compilers, I think you've talked about this, but I'm just going to talk about them as much as possible. For your compilers, is a computer program that translates a program written in a high-level language and into a mature language, right? That is understood by the computer. Then we have the linkers that talks about computer program that takes one or more object files and that is being produced by a compiler. Okay. And then device drivers talks about name given to software that enables one or more hardwares to communicate with the computer operating system. Then the operating system itself, yes, is the backbone of the computer, right? So essentially, software that is running in the background of a computer system. Okay, and yeah, without the OS, most computer would not be user friendly, right? Because it means that you need to understand binary to actually operate a computer. So they are more graphic in nature. And then we have utilities that has to design to carry out specific tasks such as antiviruses, maintaining and controlling your computer resources. And I'm going to stop here. The next video will look at analog and digital computers. I will move from there. Thank you.